Let's keep it then with some of the mid-cap IT names as well and talk about L&T Infotech in greater detail. They did see a healthy order pipeline. The cross-currency revenue, though, grew. Let's connect with Sanjay Jalona, who is the CEO and Managing Director, who joins in to talk a little bit more about the quarterly numbers. Thanks much for taking time out and good to have you on board. Now, given that we saw revenues decline pretty much in line with what the street was expecting, your margins managed to expand. What is the outlook?
We all are living in very uncertain and unprecedented times, right? And obviously, loss of lives and impact on lives and livelihoods has been tremendous and saddens everyone. So obviously, what we do in technology is a reflection on how businesses are performing overall. So overall, we where we stand compared to what we thought in March when this happened. Obviously, it was absolutely unprecedented. None of us had ever experienced anything like this before. I think we have performed really well. Please remember that we came with a 4% last quarter growth over previous quarter. So after a 4% quarter growth, we have seen a decline of around 4.8% on a quarterly basis. On an annual quarter one basis, we have seen a double-digit growth actually. So where we stand today, Chandra, overall we see a healthy pipeline. We have been able to close one large deal even in Q1 with a banking financial services customer in UK. We have opened and added one Fortune 500 customer in these lockdown situation as a new logo as well, which is learning something new for all of us. There is a robustness on pipeline, and I think where we stand today, while things are changing very rapidly the world over, we believe the worst is behind us. We have a positive bias in Q2 itself, flat to positive bias in Q2 as well, based on the pipeline strength of the pipeline that we see.
I want to talk about the deal win in particular because the release said that despite a challenging time, we closed the quarter with a big deal win. So take us through this. In which vertical did this happen, and give us a sense of the deal pipeline going ahead, the verticals that are looking up for you.
I think we have all learned new tricks in the last 3 months, and frankly, in this new scenario where everybody is working remotely. We recently did one orals for a large deal where we had 70 of our employees dial in, right? So in normally a typical deal where people would fly to meet a customer, you'll typically get a fewer people. Now today you are able to bring the best of the company to bear, get all the experts in the call, and probably are able to show the value a lot better than you ever did. Right, so specifically on this large deal that we talk about, this is in banking financial services for an asset management company. We are going to help their infrastructure transformation to cloud. Very excited about it. We were able to close this during pandemic. We are able to even transfer around 15 odd people from customer totally in a remote model. So all of this is extremely new.
Sanjay, if I look at this in terms of verticals and geographies, while manufacturing came under strain, energy came under strain, the BFS vertical for you, the insurance vertical, was fairly resilient. And in terms of geography, while North America did well, Europe is still some way behind. So how do you see this panning out? Because some geographies are seeing recurrence of this virus. So how do you see the outlook going ahead?
So let me give two cuts for you. One is vertical cut, and another one is the geography cut. Look, vertical wise, obviously we do not have a high exposure. We don't have any work for travel and hospitality, and we don't have a high exposure on retail. So we kind of dodge two bullets. But we have a significant exposure to manufacturing and oil and gas, right? So obviously, when automotive plants are not working and they're not taking out automotive cars, how do you actually distant? The thoughts of technology work is quite distant in our customers thoughts. So but we are seeing growth in lots of other verticals overall. BFS has been pretty resilient as well, but manufacturing is by far the largest in our portfolio, including oil and gas, is probably impacted the largest one. The impact that you've seen in Q1 is also because in Q4 we had a pass-through revenue as well. So that's why the impact is a lot higher. It will not be the case in subsequent quarters. When you look at geography-wise, Europe, it has struggled a lot more compared to US, and that's what is impacted. And we had to partner with our customers, both in manufacturing as well as BFS side, to help them, give some time-bound discounts, etc., as they struggled with their operations for during this pandemic. But
Right.
hopefully things will shape up in few quarters.
In terms of the conversations that you are having with clients now, what are they telling you in terms of demand or pricing or even projects? Are they coming back? What kind of conversations are you having with clients right now?
Chandra, surprisingly, I find it difficult to even say it at times, but I am meeting more customers these days than I ever met when there was no lockdown. Right, so I have
Okay.
more meetings, and customers ready to actually talk a lot more. If you have good ideas and thoughts on how you can actually help them save money, how you can help them operate and do a claims for automotive accident in this model where nobody can go and take a look at what has been damaged. If you can help them operate in a new normal, if you can help them in the journey to cloud, etc., there are many things that customer is ready to discuss and find money if you can create a need for it, right? So we are seeing a lot more activity across. Obviously the activity is higher. It is not as high in the impacted verticals, but there is an opportunity everywhere.
Sanjay, well, you can't give me a specific number. Give us a sense of the growth and margins that we can expect for the current fiscal, because you said from the second quarter itself it would be flat to positive. So, what kind of growth can we expect from L&T Infotech for the rest of the year?
See, it's we don't give revenue guidance, but mathematics
Right.
is very simple, Chandra, right? So we have had 10% constant currency growth in Q1, and I'm saying we are not going to see a degrowth in Q2 onwards. So obviously, if
Okay.
you do simple mathematics, you will know that we will grow in FY21 for sure. Margin is the only guidance that we give. Obviously, in a good year, we give 14 to 15% net margin, but obviously this is not a normal year, right? So we do expect to be around 14%, but we will see how things change in the next few months.
Right. On the employee front, IT companies are already talking about hiring selectively, hiring based on needs. Some are talking about onboarding freshers. What is L&T Infotech's plan in this regard, your hiring plans?
We had a net increase in employees in Q1, and we would honor all the commitments that we have made with regards to the freshers. We are continuing to hire in geographies as well, including in US. We will continue to this path, but obviously, given the world over, the
Okay,
situation